I just picked this book up yesterday at the thrift store, and I've already finished it. It's A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. It is a short book. It's only about 120 pages, and it was published in 2010. It's based on a true story, although parts of it is fictionalized. But the true story is based upon Salva Dut, a man from South Sudan. And his story basically is he was separated from his family when he was 11 years old due to the war there. And he walked with other refugees to nearby Ethiopia, where he was there in a refugee camp for about 6 years, until the Ethiopian government started to collapse and they were forced to leave. So then he had to walk to Kenya, and he ended up leading other boys, other young men. He was about 17 at the time, and they walked for a year and a half to get to Kenya. And once there, he was in another refugee camp for many years. He was able to learn a little bit of English, and then eventually he was able to go to the United States to live with a family there, his new family in New York. And once there, he was in college, and he found out about his father. His father was still alive. And so he was able to go back to Sudan and see his father after 19 years, where he thought his whole family had died in the war. So he went back, found out his mother was still alive, his sisters were still alive, and one of his brothers, although 2 were killed in the war. And during that time, his father was sick due to waterborne illnesses from contaminated water, drinking water. And so that sparked his idea for the organization that he started when he went back home to his new home in New York, where he started an organization called Water for Sudan. And then basically he starts drilling wells in these villages in Sudan to help them have access to clean drinking water, and really to have access to water at all, because a lot of folks were having to walk long distances, hence the title, A Long Walk for Water to Water. And so the book also follows the story of Naya, and she is a young girl that has to walk half the morning to get water for her family, and does that twice a day. And so at the end of the book, Salva is drilling a well at her home in her village to bring water. And then since she doesn't have to walk so far for water, then she can have an education. And so they're building a school. So I thought that the book was really powerful. I cried several times. His story of perseverance was inspiring. I'm going to look more into his organization, Water for Sudan, see if I can donate some money to learn more about it. Because like I said, I wasn't familiar with the war in Sudan and the Lost Boys, as they're known. So this was a good introduction into that story of them there, and just made me feel really grateful for access to water that I have here, that many people here in the States take for granted. Have access for water and access to education, and that's something we should never take for granted, because there's millions of people on this planet that do not have that, and we should strive for everybody to have access for clean drinking water and education. So I highly recommend this. So check it out and keep reading.